kind of ended up getting in quite a bad way.
Right.
And stop it all. But that's one of the things. Then he met his wife and a kid. And I think he does some school stuff, but don't quite remember that. But worth getting the book.
I always felt that his music felt reachable. Like it felt like you said. I feel like anyone can do it, and that's not me trying to disrespect Mike at all, because I feel anyone can do it, but you've got to have the the passion to really commit to it, and he should be able to prove to anyone that the sky's the limit for what you can do. You know, he's someone that is inspirational, I think.
He put tons and tons of hours in on those first records. I mean, I think some of the fits were triggered by looking at laptop screens so much.
Oh, really?
I spent hours and hours and hours in front of the laptop making those records, and some of that was also helping. Triggering a bit of epilepsy or whatever. So. But yeah, good, brilliant record.
Favourite tune? Got a favourite tune?
We Becomes Heroes, maybe.
Yeah.
Hasn't come to us. Still got to be a winner. You know, so it's just a game. It's the whole album, brilliant.
Yeah. We still got Don't Mug Yourself in the pub.
Don't Mug Yourself. That's quite. That's one of those ones which you shouldn't really kind of. I think that's a bit one of the worst ones, but it is good.
Yeah. Still, it just makes me chuckle, man. Yeah. It's up tempo, and like you say, there's certain situations where that can just pick up a crowd a little bit and not be too heavy either. So
we went to see him at play at Bristol on the first tour, and it was great. The whole crowd was just going for it. You know, Morgan on bass.
Morgan Nichols.
From Senseless Things, he played bass with them,
He played for... I'll tell you what...
He's been playing with... Senseless Things are reforming, because I know Kaz, and he's playing... He was playing with Muse.
I went to V, and apparently their bass... Because my band supported Senseless Things.
Yeah.
And I love Senseless Things as well. I thought they were...
Yeah, great band,
fucking bass lines from a different world. But I remember just watching Morgan Nichols on stage and thinking...
That was a phenomenal player.
Fuck's sake, unbelievable. And then I was at V, and I'm not a Muse fan, and it was like, Muse are playing, but their bass player...
Oh, was it the same one?
Dad had died or something like that.
I thought he'd broken his arm.
Oh, I don't know, something had happened. It was like, and they had to get a bass player last minute, and I thought, fuck me, that's some complicated shit they play as well, isn't it? It's all very proggy and wanky, and I was thinking, and then I said to my missus, I was like, that's Morgan. Like,
it's Morgan. Well, he auditioned for Elastica when Annie left, and I wanted him in the band.
Really?
But what happened? We set up rehearsal, we finished touring or whatever, and we needed to get into the bass player. But we did these a few days at the depot, the place I mentioned before. We had some auditions set up, and Morgan was one of the guys auditioning, and I was like, I kind of knew Morgan a little bit, not very well, and I met him, through a couple of Senseless Things, and friends of mine, Jamie Hewlett and all that, all that. So he comes and he auditioned, and we played a couple of tracks, played him brilliantly, great, and I was like, let's have Morgan in the band, it'd be great to get Morgan, and they tell me it's too technical. I was like, fuck! Do you know what I mean? He's too good for us.
He should have joined that band with his butt.
He probably could have played drums and bass at the same time. He's too technical. I was like, no. So we ended up having someone who couldn't really play. But there we go. Another story. He was great. Really good. You should check him. Great player.
And to check the Senseless Things, we mentioned Jamie Hewlett, all of Senseless Things' artwork
was all his.
Oh, okay, really?
So the covers were incredible, weren't they?
Yeah. Kaz plays drums, and so he was doing the Gorillaz things. He was playing drums in the Gorillaz.
I never knew that.
Yeah, he was doing the live stuff. Yeah.
Wow, didn't know that.
So he's a great drummer, great rhythm section. Those two together. So. The Streets, brilliant, great live, great first album, even and A Grand Doesn't Come for Free, brilliant record. It takes a bit of time to get used to that one, but some amazing songs on it. Really, never got. That was it for me though. For the streets, it stopped there.
Yeah.
I know he did another record, or might have been two, but it did stop on those two.
Right. Well, obviously so. Can we go back a little bit and talk a bit about Elastica as well while we're working through your record collection? So when you left Spitfire, how did Elastica come about?
Well, it's when I first moved up to London, like I was saying, my technique for trying to find like-minded people from bands was I danced to the ads in the paper.
Yeah.
Really. But when I first moved to London at 16, Melody Maker had the classified ads. It's the way that, and I just used to answer every advert for Drummer Wanted. Not really with much intention of joining any of these bands, but I lived in a one-bedroom flat with two of the guys, and it was just a way of getting out.
Yeah.
You know, this is more in Leighton, which was a bit out, but not anymore. And it was my way of trying to meet others.
Yeah.
So one of the auditions was for this band called Suede, and I turned up, and it was Justine, Bernard, Brett, and Matt, and their drum machine, and I ended up playing with them but didn't do any gigs. Literally after that one audition, they said we're in the studio next week recording a 12-inch, recording a record.
Yeah.
What
was that? Was that Brandon's?
Pardon?
Was that this right?
No. So it was a track called "Be My God,"
right,
which came out on White Label. For me, all I ever wanted to do, as far as I was concerned, I'd made it. If I made that record, that's all I ever wanted to do, make a record. And they were offering me, next week.
Yeah.
So it was a 12-inch White Label on this little label that they'd signed to. I think that's getting cold. Which never really came out, only the White Label. But that's how I met Justine, and then I subsequently was in another couple of bands. Justine called me up, said, "Well," and I turned up for rehearsal, and I was like, "Well, can't have another couple of bands, really." So that was the end of that, really this way. But I kept really in contact with them all. Bernard ended up living down the road, so I was seeing him a little bit. And when I was in a couple of local bands in London, but I used to play at the Falcon a lot with a couple of bands.
That was a barfly at one point as well, but was I?
Later on, I think. The Falcon was
on
Royal College Street.
Yeah.
Right in the middle of Royal College Street. Real famous Camden indie scene venue. I used to play a lot. Any support slot, a couple of bands I was in would take it, and the stage was made up of crates. Crates sort of thing, and pallets, whatever. Great venue though. But Roger Carroll, who was the promoter there, had a little label called E Records, which was what Spitfire on. Used to give us gigs, send you demo and get a gig. And Spitfire's drummer left, and it was the week I left work, and he weirdly called me up. I wasn't no coincidence. And he said, "Do you want to play drums in Spitfire?" So went down to Brighton, met them all, without realising I was actually joining the band. I was on the next couple of days. I was away on tour, and then we got the Blur tour. And by this point, Justine and Brett split up, but she was seeing Damon, and she came to a couple of gigs. So I know it's a long way around, but when this obviously seen me play again, I haven't seen me play, and I bumped into her at Glastonbury when Blur were playing, and she said, "Would you like to do some recording? I've got some songs." And Damon will play bass for a bit, and I'll play guitar and sing, and you play drums, and I've got some studio time, which was EMI. So we did these first few rehearsals with Damon bouncing around on bass, and that's Damon being Damon. And his Park Life era was already happening then, And we. We did. Within a couple of months, we got Donna joining the band, who'd answered an advert for a guitarist player, and he was recommended through Mark Wartsman, who was our producer, to play bass. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, sort of how it sort of happened. But that's how I met Justine, And I guess the rest is call something else.
yeah. Okay, well,
But you know, it happened really quickly. The band rehearsed for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll say a long time, felt like a long time. So I'd been used to being in a band, and a couple of rehearsals down the road, we were playing.
Playing.
We were doing it for like 8 months and rehearsing every week. Just trying to learn to play some songs, really.
Yeah.
I guess, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I've probably got the most experience of playing. So I've been doing it for something. The others really hadn't had a lot of experience of gigging. Danny hadn't really ever done a gig, and so it was a proper DIY band, which is what Justin's vision kind of was, really.
I mean, but then obviously when come first, Stutter come first.
Stutter was the first single.
And it blew up big quickly, didn't it? The exposure in the indie press was huge quite quickly, wasn't it?
Well, when we were ready to play, we did a number of supports because the demos that we'd managed to get some demos done, which was Line Up, Statue, and Vaseline. And we'd done them, we recorded them down at EMI Studios, which was just a basic little 16-track studio, great little studio, all the amps in the corridors, really noisy, There was the studio's got like a tiny little room, smaller than this, then a little live room which you could just about get a drum kit in, or be fine if you're doing vocals later. Then there was another studio which was 24-track, but you were never allowed in that because Kathy Dennis would mostly be in there. So if you got a booking, you would keep to that booking, which was in those days was a treat. Going in the studios, it's a massive deal. Now you can record anywhere. But then it was like brilliant. We've got some studio time, but that studio time could have been cancelled right at the last minute because Kathy Dennis wanted the studio, and she'd been writing for like Kylie Minogue. So their big writers would get in there, and us like unsigned acts would just like get the scraps. We'd be sitting there waiting, hovering to get in. But it was great. It's that, like I say, amps in the corridor, there'd be one in the loo, and that's the Elastica sound. Really?
Elastica?
Hired gear. No one had any of their own gear, you know what I mean?
Brilliant.
But we started playing. Once we got started, because of the connection with the EMI thing, we were able to get a few decent supports, like on the classic M25 circuit, which you've got Bedford, you've got Chelmsford, Army, Navy, you've got
the White
Windsor Old Trowel.
The Old Trowel. I saw Blur at the Old Trowel.
Might have been at that gig.
Yeah, that was an early one.
Right.
No, that was. Do you know what that was?
We did support them at the Old Trowel.
That was post Leisure, I think. I think that was around pop scene time.
Oh, we might have done that gig.
Yeah.
Let's see, you weren't into the band then.
I
didn't want to stick around.
Didn't.
Well, Windsor Old Trout was like a treat. I was thought it was one of those places. It seemed to me in my head still thinks it's always sunny in Windsor, and the swans are on the river, and you have an ice cream after science lunch. I'm sure it's not really like that, but that's in my head. It seemed to be, people punting down the river. In Windsor, and there goes Blur. Punting down the river, There goes Kingmaker. There's Radiohead queuing at the door. It was all like that, but I'm sure it wasn't. So who was had ice cream once?
So who were the supports you done early doors then? That when you were ready to play,
we supported Kinky Machine.
Brilliant.
Quite a few dates, and later on they supported us in Europe, which was really good.
What was their singer's name? Was that Louis?
Louis Elliott, yeah.
Because he went on to Rialto, didn't he?
Yeah. I did a tour with Louis as well. I played drums for him on a tour of the West Country with he's got a Louis Elliott and the Embers, he calls it, and it's just really quite. It's got a bit of a folky edge, bit Nick Drake, sort of Nick Cave, really lovely stuff. Louis a great songwriter. He plays guitar with Grace Jones as well at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. So we did a few gigs with.
I'm loving this. I'm just finding out what all of the people are
I still
loving what they're all up to now. Oh, it's brilliant.
So we did Kingmaker. That's quite a few, and then we did. I think Bedford Squires was just like one of those sort of who's had their first review in the Melody Maker. So it was like Smash. I think we played with, and I can't remember who else.